And we are back with Inside the Show. I'm Scuffy. He's Cougs. Of course, we got another big episode today. We got Player of Month predictions. We got review of the Sizzling Summer Program. We got new event. We got much more. And we got a lot of things coming this week besides the Player of Month program. But let's get to it. Let's get to the big thing that happened last week here, Cougs. And that was the new program that had 4 bosses and all Takashi called the Sizzling Summer Program. And I gotta say, on paper, before we saw the attributes, you gotta say these 4 cards are living up to be. There's no bad choices, right? Just beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, they all have their own value for whatever you're looking for. I mean, a guy like Honus for a lot of versatility on the field. A guy like Rollie for a great bullpen arm. And even after the 4 Takashi guys, there's another one. So I mean, like, there's a lot of value, and I like how they structured the program to let you get multiple. And
Yes.
in terms of, like, you get 2 out, or technically 3 out of 5 of the whole program, when we originally expected to get only 2. So overall, with the cards we got and some of the other things we got in the program itself, I thought it was a pretty good one.
I did too. So let's get more in depth with the program and let's go over the bosses. I mean, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here to review. Let's start from the first one they've revealed, and I think that was Rollie Fingers, the 96 Rollie Fingers Takashi series when he was on the A's. Another righty. Well, I gotta say, this might be the highest overall righty reliever that we have. I'm not sure where Trevor Hoffman landed. Was he in 93? I think he was in 93.
Trevor Hoffman was a 93, but then I think
Jansen.
Kenley's a 97 or a 96.
96. He's actually 96. But I guess more so that's not a collection. More so like release within content, whether it be a headliner or through a program. That would be probably the highest reliever that we had was with the 96 Rollie Fingers. And we all know what Rollie gets. We saw the gold flashback before where he only had 3 pitches, fastball, sinker, slider. Now with the 96, he will have the forkball as well. And being a 96 and seeing previous Rollie Fingers endgame cards, previously he had the Cy Young card, and then last year I believe he had the Signature Series card being on the A's. So this is basically endgame Rollie Fingers right from this program. So all you gotta do is grind it, get this Rollie Fingers, and you have his endgame card for the rest of the year. And if you're a big fan of Rollie, like I am, I was very happy to see it. I'm stoked he'll be one of my 2. I didn't get any cards unlocked yet, but he'll be one of my 2 that I would like to get. I don't know, Goose, off rip, are you on the same page where I am with Rollie?
Absolutely. His card last year, I felt was like super underrated. I don't remember how his card got released last year, but it felt like nobody used him, and I was like, this guy has. It feels like this guy has everything you'd want out of a solid reliever. He's got a solid pitch mix, solid hits per 9. Everything that you would want in a quote unquote end game type of right-handed reliever. He has, and this is basically the same card. So I'm with you. Like, he's absolutely going to be one of my choices whenever I get around to getting the XP to get the pack. And yeah, I think he will be one of the better relievers you'll see for at least the rest of the summer, if not the end of the year.
Yeah, without that, let's just do a quick comparison. I actually brought up the Signature Series from last year for 21. I'll go over his attributes real quick. It's 37 stamina, which is a little bit higher than the Takashi, which is 35. H per 9, Takashi has a beat with 111, where the Signature Series has 109. K per 9, 114 to 115. It's everything's just like 1 or 2 off right here. The only thing that's I by looking on paper, it looks like the Takashi card is better than the Signature Series card. So we could literally say this is the end game Rollie Fingers that we're getting. And it's not bad to have your bullpen. And it's funny because the last time they did like 4 or 5 bosses, we got pretty much Zach Britton's endgame card with the 92. I believe it was like 92, 93
Yeah.
milestone card, which that card still could live up to this day, be in your bullpen, be a dominant lefty out of your bullpen,
Oh,
and now
he
you
is in
get
my
the
bullpen. He's an absolute stud. He's the most reliable left-handed reliever I have at the moment because, like, sometimes I get a little bit iffy with guys like Chapman and
Mhm.
even a guy like Josh Hader. I think that Billy Wagner card is just not good in the slightest. So, I mean, uh, there's no other lefty that I bring in right now that I have more confidence in than that Zach Britton. So, like, once again, the overall doesn't matter. It's just about
Yeah.
that the pitch mix, the hits per nine, individual attributes, and we preach it every single week. It feels like that overalls are overrated, but it's true.
No, hands down. And now I think we see it more by how much they've been progressing the overalls throughout the year. They've been doing at a steady pace, and we never seen it like this with content before. That's why I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself. That's why I think with the All-Star program that we'll eventually get on the 18th. I believe all the overalls are going to be the same, just like we see with the future franchise, just like we saw with face of the franchise for the first program being 90 and then 95 for future. So, but you as you see them all being the same overall, you could see which ones are the better cards, even for like a 93. I mean, there's some 96s that might be out there right now where I might still plug in like a 93 overall card instead of that. I mean, Jorge Polanco, Marte being 94 still probably outplays some 96s that we have in this game or 95s that we have in this game. So we kind of we sound like a broker, like you said, throughout each week. We always say overall is overrated, but let's get back on track. Let's get back to the Sizzling Summer Program, and let's go over to boss number 2, and that's Stan the Man, Stan Musial, 96 Takashi card. He has all of his secondaries with first base, left field, center field, with right field being his primary. His attributes, what you expect from Stan: 107, 116 for contact with righties, lefties, and then 92 power against righties, 96 power against lefties, 80 fielding, and his reaction 78. It's a typical Stan Musial card, what you expect, but it's with Stan Musial always being released, it always brings up the question, do I already have someone in the position where I will plug Stan better, right? It
Yeah.
always feels that way.
It's a super fair critique. Um, but even though I'll spoil my thoughts, I actually think Stan might be the best overall card in the Sizzling Summer Program. But I still think it's totally a fair point to say that, like, I have cards already that are better at their respective positions or secondary positions because Stan can play in multiple spots on the field. But still, I mean, going back to what you said, you can say you have better cards, but at the end of the day, there might be somebody out there who likes Stan's swing more than Babe Ruth's
Yeah.
or Stan's swing more than, Frank Thomas or whoever it is. Like, it all comes down to the preference of the player. And I think Stan is, attribute wise, positional, flexibility wise, I just think he provides so much value. And, as someone who does like using Stan Musial and actually likes his swing, I'm very excited for this card, regardless if there's better overall cards at those respective positions.
Does he make your God Squad right now?
Possibly. Like I said, I haven't used him yet, but I've used. I think there was another Stan Musial card, or if either that or I'm remembering Stan from last year. I just remember loving
Mhm.
his swing. Um, so no, I haven't used him yet, so it's too early for me to say.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited to give him a shot whenever I get there.
Oh, yeah, hands down. I never got around using like Stan Musial cards because what I mentioned before, but I always hear his swing's great. I'll definitely give it a shot. I mean, there's plenty of cards that I barely used previous years that I started using now. I've been really liking. I mentioned Joe Morgan earlier on this podcast once he got released with the 94 Takashi and just absolutely loving him. I've always been a sucker closed stance, and he's one of them. And I would definitely give Sam Musial another shot here. So that's number 2. Number 3 that got revealed, and I think you were very hyped when he got revealed, and that was 96 Takashi, Honus Wagner. which
Yes.
basically is his it's like his prime card art, but as a Takashi series card art, which is great, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so for the Honus card, I was really excited because basically the past, I want to say past 2 years, his 99 overall prime card that we get, that iconic
Mhm.
Honus Wagner card, he's been my end game shortstop. I just love Honus Wagner. I love his attributes. Like usually has like mid 90s power, but it always feels like he has at least 110 just with the way he plays, and he's got great fielding at shortstop, of course, great speed, everything you need, really. So I was really excited. I knew that his power was not going to be, that high. I was hoping for like the mid 80s, something like that. If you would have gotten that, I think this card would be perfect. Um, but yeah, with him being a 96, the power really isn't there. It's like 60, 70, somewhere around there. And the fact that he's a primary center fielder, he's not even a primary shortstop, but he still
Yeah.
has all that positional flexibility. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw the attributes just because of the honus that I want. This isn't quite that yet, but he's going to get that card at the end of the year somewhere. And I'm sure he's going to play just as well as he always does and be my end game shortstop. So I'm fine with this Honus Wagner card. I'm sure I'll give him a shot in BR, or I mean, I'm going to get his card eventually for collections and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he is what he is. It is the card is there. It's a cool card art. Probably, honestly, next to Ozzie Smith, my favorite Takashi card art, just because of the uniqueness of it being that solid yellow color with all the
Yeah.
accents of all that stuff with it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Actually, my favorite is probably the next one that we're going to talk about, but I'm going to be biased with that. But looking through the difference between Prime Honus Wagner was like 116, 125, 89, 90, 118 vision. It was just off the charts amazing, right? And then I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing, like you said, being a shortstop as well, was primary position was very at that time when we got released in, was it 20 when you first got released
I think it was
or
19.
19? It was 19. Wow, he's been in this
Yeah,
game for
he
three
was it
years
was
already.
the first ever, like,
Like the full collection.
mid-season collection
Yeah.
reward, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's been 3 years already for that.
I
That's
know.
crazy. Oh, man, time flies. But I remember when he got released in 19, it was well needed for a shortstop back then, and he was that guy then. And then, now if you compare to the Takashi 96, will this be the last card of him? We'll find out, but his I mean, he has 100 contact. It's not the 160, 125, it's the 109, 106. I thought I was on the same boat with you. I thought he would have like at least 80 power. He has 70, 65. I kind of don't want to bring in parallels because it takes forever to power up a position player.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. He might still play above his attributes regardless, especially with the
Yes.
high contact he has. And we'll see where it goes. I'm definitely be trying him out in BR. I only got to try out 2 cards of the 2, which I'll get to after we go all 4. But yeah, overall, definitely a bench player I would like to have, just the versatility that he
Yes.
brings. So if you don't see him as a starter, definitely try him out your bench. Uh, Now we get to the final boss, which is we got revealed on that Friday. They kind of gave a hint. I already knew it was coming, and it was Mike Piazza coming to the Sizzling Summer Program, being the 96 Takashi Mets card. For me, what popped out for me, Cougs, was just the black uni.
Yep.
It was great to see, and it's funny because it it was 20 years or 22 years to the date when the Mets were down by 8 in the bottom 8th against the Braves, and he comes up and hits the game, let the not the game winning, but it was going to be the game winning, but game ahead 2-run shot that's been iconic from that 2000 year during the regular season for the Mets. And that's why I saw that clip earlier before they even like teased it. I was like, oh wow, what a perfect coincidence that was. But yeah, I was happy to see Mike Piazza. This is probably Mike Piazza's end game card. Just knowing how his 99s usually look, Um, there usually has the high contact, the high power. I believe everything's in the hundreds for him. Let me pull it up right here real quick. But like I said, it's it's 50-50 in the community though with Mike Piazza because there's one thing about him, and that's his long swing.
Yeah.
Um, I did get to use this card, and I'm always going to have the Mets bias. I did perform good with him, although it was only BR. I'm excited to continue using him. I mean, if you look at his numbers, 103 contact against righties, 108 against lefties, 101 power against righties, and 115 against lefties for a catcher. I mean, you'll give it a shot. I mean, even you could plug him at first base if you really want, if you don't have Frank, or you just don't want to use any other first baseman, Carlos Salgado, Babe Ruth, etc.
Yeah.
He's always there for you.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I mean, that's really what it comes down to with Mike Piazza. Do you like his longer swing? And if you do, he's probably going to be your favorite catcher in the game. Really, catcher defense is a little bit overrated for the most
Yeah,
part. Like, you get a guy like Joe Mauer who plays really good defense. It's obviously not going to hurt you, but really, when you're looking at a catcher in MLB The Show, you're mainly focused on those hitting stats. And Mike Piazza has him. But once again, if you're not really liking his long swing, he's probably not the guy for you. But I do disagree. I do think he is going to get a 99 overall at some point. I don't
okay.
think this will be the last card we see of Mike Piazza, just because there's so many different series of cards nowadays that they could make. It's not. Yes, he this might look similar to other cards he's had in the past, but now we have retro finest, we have awards cards, we have prime card signature, all these different types of series. It's totally easy for Mike Piazza to get a certain card. Maybe even, dude, they could give him a milestone for the home run he hit in that game against the Yankees. Like, he could get just like a super cool moments card like that. I'm sure they could do that. They could do a tops now Mike Piazza of that moment. How cool would that be? That
That'd be
should be a
pretty.
99. So
Oh
like,
man,
that'd be sick, right? There's
yeah.
just so many ways they could make a good Mike Piazza. Not that this one isn't good, but I don't think that this is going to be the last time we see a high diamond Mike Piazza.
Yeah, now I'm looking. You made me second guess because once you said, so I decided to look up Mike Piazza's signature series from MLB Show 21, and here's his attributes: 116, 125, 113, 119. Yeah, they could make another
Yeah,
one. Just
and
look
and
at just his hitting numbers right
yeah,
there.
and the other thing is Mike Piazza is just he's one of those baseball players that people want to use in Diamond Dynasty. Whether you like the swing or not or whatever, like, he's just one of those kind of iconic baseball players, and those guys they're gonna get their 99s. They're gonna get their due.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what's funny? I'm looking back now to his signature series. His power numbers are the same. Although
Yeah.
the contact numbers are different. His signature series from 19 was once or 20, I think this is 20 actually, 116, 125 for contact, but the power attributes are okay, not total the same, 109 and 115, where the Takashi is 101 and 150. But either way, I'm with you. Now you put me on board and changing my decision. I would love another 99, 99 Mike Piazza, especially. So I would love to see. Did we ever have a lower tier one? Like, I feel like we did.
Yes, we had the 88 from Conquest.
No, oh, yeah, we had that. I'm talking about, like, when I'm just saying lower tier, did we
Oh,
ever have,
like,
like, a silver? Did we ever have a rookie one? Didn't he win
we
rookie of the
had
year,
there
though?
was something. There was like some lower overall Mike Piazza. I'm almost positive of that. I don't remember what year or what the card was, but I'm almost
Okay.
positive we had a Mike Piazza that was like a lower overall for like Battle Royale or whatever.
Man, I'll even take that. But anyway, so yeah, Mike Piazza rounds out the bosses for the Sizzling Summer. We thought there was going to be five because the original tweet about the Sizzling Summer program was saying five bosses. However, it's four. You get to choose out of four, and they give pretty much the fifth one, which is not a boss anymore, into the program, which is, I think that's pretty cool. Where we get the prime Fernando Valenzuela. Um, and I remember his card from last year. He was the first inning boss program, and that card I could not hit. I haven't seen much of him this year, especially I think he has one other card, but I haven't played ranked when he was more usable. But seeing this prime one and playing more ranked now, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit him.
Oh, I'm terrified because I don't know if you remember this, but he is the only card that has thrown a perfect game against me in rank season. He's the only player. It was last year
Oh.
debuting Nolan Ryan. I think that was fifth or sixth
Oh,
inning program
man.
or something. I was all excited. I was like,
Is this
yes,
the
let's go.
93?
This is the 93. This isn't even the 97 milestone he got last year. This is
Oh,
literally the card
man.
that was in the first inning program. And I'm debuting Nolan Ryan, very excited. I just got my 300K XP in the program. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's get Nolan out there. Yeah, he threw a perfect game against me. I'm pretty sure I allowed like 2 runs. So the hard part was it was still a winnable game. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, he threw a perfect game against me. Although I did get a good title out of it. I titled that video "Perfect Game" in Nolan Ryan's debut, and that got quite the chuckle from the comments, thinking that Nolan threw the perfect game
That's a
when
good twist, though. I
I
mean,
am
you
saying
come
it's
in
not
like
clickbait.
no, it's not, but you come here be like, "Oh, he's about to throw a perfect game," and then all of a sudden it's against you, and seeing
Yep.
that twist is that's highly entertaining. That's good content right there.
Yeah, you gotta think about those things, man. You gotta understand the game.
Yeah, and I hear you. But if we go through his attributes, 119 stamina, 102 H per I gotta say, for the H per nines, even though we kinda want high H per nines, they all been rather close. They all been,
Yes.
like, 99 to, say, like, 105, 106. Nothing dramatic have we seen yet. Probably even for Randy, right? Randy didn't even get that much H per 9
Yeah,
for his
Randy was
99
what,
six. Just
105?
so I swear though, bring Randy up the subject. It's funny. Last week, I think I told you I faced like Bobby Miller like for 5 straight games in ranked, and now I'm facing like a Randy for like 4 straight games. It's just he might be he might be the pitcher. Like if we rank up all, I know we're getting off subject here, but if we rank up all pitchers throughout Diamond Dynasty who I don't want to face, Randy's probably number one right for. I mean, I his slurve always looks like a strike to me. If you pitch it inside to righties, it always looks like a strike, especially on higher difficulties.
Yeah.
And I just like a fool out there. I feel
Yeah,
like
he's
I'm just
tough.
embarrassing myself.
And dude, even the bronze Randy, if somebody uses that card
Yes,
in BR, it's still hard to hit. It
I
sucks.
agree. Oh
Yeah.
man,
I mean,
it's just
he may be the hardest pitcher like ever to hit. I think the difference when we talk about guys like, Kershaw or Kluber is the fact that, those guys were available day one and they were so
yeah.
easy to obtain. And it's like you had to face them every single game. Whereas Randy, at least he was a collection reward, so you didn't have to face him at least that much early on in the year. But yeah, no, he's definitely a really, really tough pitcher to face. It's brutal whenever you queue up and see Randy. But I have a confession to make, Scuffy. I have a
Oh,
confession to make. Um, so there's an event going on right now, which we'll discuss. But in this event, you can actually use Randy Johnson. You can use the signature card.
okay.
Now, um, I want to know how you feel about my strategy. Since event lineups this year save,
Uh-huh.
what I've been doing is I have been loading into an event game using Randy Johnson. Usually, somebody, when they see Parallel 5 Randy, they don't want to face him. So they either try really hard in the first inning, don't get anything going, or they just offer a friendly right away. I decline it, and then they quit. Then I just forfeit my run and go back into another one when Randy has full stamina. Am I exploiting? Am I cheesing, or is that fair game? What do you think about that strategy?
You know what? This is not the first time I heard it. I
Yeah.
hear everyone just doing that. Hey, it, I don't know if you call it exploit because you're
I
playing
don't
by the
know if it's
games. I
I
would.
don't know if I would consider it an
I
exploit,
call it
but
cheesy. I call it a
it's
little cheesy.
cheesy.
I call it that. I always did, but it's not exploit. Exploit
Yeah.
would be like something with a stadium or something like that. This is just, they're giving you what you could do, right? Make
Yep.
it easier with safe events. Hey, what are you going to do?
That's what I'm
It's
saying, man.
funny because I think it was DC Digital Champion who was saying the same thing. Like he was like getting on people for doing exactly what you said, and then he saw the way. He was like, "Wait a second, I should probably start doing it." And he saw the way. He was like, "Yep, I take that fully back. This is just how it goes right now."
It's what you gotta do, especially, like, if it was, like, battle royale, obviously, you can't do that, but, like, event, runs, they're free entries, so it's not
Yeah,
like you're wasting 1,500 stubs every time you do it, but it's definitely a little cheesy, but hey, man, if they're gonna reset his energy every time, I'm gonna take advantage of it. The less event games I have to play, the better.
yeah. Go by all means. It just makes it much easier. And we could transition to the event, by the way, where we got the Sizzling Summer event where we get 2 new cards. At 12 wins, you get Jay Buhner, Signature Series card. I believe we had this card previously. I feel like anytime we had Jay Buhner, it's been Signature Series card. And then we got Silver Slugger. I just love the card art. Just I'm always going to say that. Silver Slugger, Carl Santana. I guess the criticism, even though it's not really warranted, but I understand why people were upset, was Carlos Santana not having catcher for secondary. But
Yeah.
during that year, he hasn't played catcher 4 years before that, so it doesn't make sense. If it was a Signature Series card and it doesn't have catcher, I can understand the frustration, even for a milestone or a prime or whatever. But since this is a single year card, yeah, that's just not going to cut it. Would it be nice? Oh, hands down. I'd probably use the card if it was, but for a first base option, I only see this card through events, theme teams, BR.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Like, when I originally saw him, I was like, "Man, he doesn't have catcher, that kinda sucks," but then you kinda take a deeper dive. It's in whatever, 2018 or 2019, whenever he got that, Silver Slugger award, you see that he didn't have any games at catcher, and you're just like, "Ah, man, it sucks," but it is what it is. I was a little disappointed because his signature card last year was he was actually my favorite catcher for a while. So they had
Mhm.
at the beginning of the game 91 or 90 overall, whatever the prospect Adley Rushman was. He was my favorite catcher. And then Carlos Santana came out. He was my favorite catcher for a couple months. And then we got Player of the Month Schwarber. Maybe we see him again. I don't know. But and then he became my catcher for literally the rest of the year. I used three catchers like on my God squad for all of MLB 21. Santana was the guy in the middle. So I was looking forward to that again this year, but he doesn't have it. It is what it is. Still a good card, still a fun swing. And yeah, great card art. I just love how each award has its own individual twist with the Gold Glove, the Rookie of the Year, the MVP, Silver Slugger, Cy Young, all the
Yep.
different things. They all look unique. That's just so cool. I love how that's such a nice little touch to the card art without changing anything about it, really.
Yeah. I I can't agree more. And you know what? Those both cards, even for an event, if you need an option or you like switch hitters, especially for your lineup, I know a lot of people love just rolling with all switch hitters in your lineup, make it easier for you. He'll do you fine. I mean, he has 97 power both ways against lefties. I mean, if you see Randy a lot like myself, you would like that 111 contact against lefties. So, and first base is, I mean, he actually has decent fielding, 75 fielding for first base. If once we see how Frank is during the year, you know how much defense you need at first, and you don't need that much, because he'll do you just fine with the 81 reaction, 75 fielding. But yeah, the good program to have during, I mean, good event to have during the program. So it was fun to see that side by side. I don't think we see that side by side, like having a program based on, I mean, have an event based on the program itself. So that was kind of cool.
Yep. I'm with you.
Um, and then finally, which we got on that Friday, was Sets 27 Headliners Pack, our another finest retro with Brandon Webb making his way into the game. This is from 2006. Last year, we saw Brandon Webb. I think it was part of a particular pack.
Yeah, I don't
I think
remember
he was,
100%.
but the biggest critique of him, he had the meta pitches, but the biggest critique was the H per nines. And know what's funny? Because that Brandon Webb last year had a much lower overall than the one that got released on Friday with the I think it was like an 87 to or a 90. It was like a Cy Young award. It was probably from the same year, to be honest with you.
Probably, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the
But
year you think of with Brandon Webb.
yeah, so, but now this being 96, we thought his H per nines would be a little higher. It really wasn't. It's kind of similar to the other card that we had previously. Um, it'll be a decent card to try out here and there. You never know. I haven't seen it yet or used it yet, but I mean, 88 H per nine, it's not that bad. The stamina, man, they gave him 127. It's like this year to boost up cards like overalls, it's stamina.
Yeah.
It really is. I
They're
mean,
trying they're trying, they're getting creative.
yeah. It's not just that, it's also other position cards where it's speed, fielding, clutch, to boost up cards as well, but, uh, that's where you probably see the 96 from, is from his stamina. Does have 99 break on his sinker, not bad, but he doesn't throw, say, a 95, 96 sinker, he throws more 92 to 93. Hey, if you could control it, probably be better than Bob Feller control, with 86. Never know.
Never know. And even if he's not great, like even if you use him and he doesn't end up performing well for you, he still has his value because as of right now, he's the third retro finest in the game.
Yep.
You got George Brett, you got Brian Wilson, and you've got Brandon Webb. So I mean, we don't know yet if retro finest is going to be its own collection later on down the line, or if it's just going to be part of like regular finest cards. But
Mhm.
either way, he might be a good card just to snag, hold on to him in your inventory, and just kind of see what happens. He's not that much. He was like maybe like
20K.
20K the other day. So yeah, I mean, he's not going to like break the bank for you or anything. So once again, might be smart to just grab him and hold on to him, but it's not like, and if he doesn't end up, doing anything in collections, it's not going to break the bank for you.
No, it's not. And speaking of collections, with the Sizzling Summer Program, a lot more people are gonna have Babe within a week or 2, especially
Oh
when the
yeah.
prices go down. I mean, if you don't have Babe by then, it's just there for you to grab once you get these bosses and then everyone else previously. I mean, just having, I guess, now those 4, if you get the once they go down in price, which they're hover around like 100K still, which we do get new a showdown tomorrow to get more XP. So if you're waiting to get more XP, you'll get that tomorrow, which we'll talk about in 2 seconds. What else comes out
That'll
for
that'll
tomorrow?
come in handy for me. I'm looking for ways to get XP
Yeah,
because I when the program came out, I was looking at it, I was analyzing it, and it kind of felt like for a program that only lasts for like what 21 days, 18 days, whatever it was, I was like,
mm,
really didn't feel like there was that many ways to earn XP off the rip. Like, you had the conquest, you
hmm
had a set of moments, you didn't have any collections, you didn't have any showdown, you had exchanges, and most of the XP really came from doing those parallel XP missions with those featured players in there, and those were like 3,000 a piece. Um, but yeah, I was like, I feel like for a program that doesn't last very long, you would want to give at least a little bit more XP to people that are trying to grind right off the rip. But we'll see. Maybe they add a bunch of stuff tomorrow and people really make a dent on this program.
yeah, it looks like so. While we're on the subject, we had the showdown, um, complete new showdown for XP tomorrow. Maybe with new mini seasons, probably give you a little bit more XP, with time limited missions. Usually that's a good way to do it. And then I believe there's it's on the schedule for the 8th, there's special content, time limited special event, showdown, conquest map, Friday at noon Pacific. I don't know what that is, but that should help you there with the new program, wherever that is. We never saw this like special content, time limited special event before, so I have no clue what to expect here.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because when they highlight something as being special, like I don't
Mhm.
know if that means like I don't really know what that entails. Does that mean it's all about it being time limited? Does that mean there's a certain way to grind it or a certain
Yeah,
I don't know what it entails. So, we'll find out, but definitely
extreme.
definitely catching my attention. Yeah, dude, give me extreme right now, please.
Imagine time limited extreme, how much that would cause raging, but how good the content would be.
Yeah, I just
Oh.
sign me up, man. Sign
I
me
would
up.
just I hope we get Extreme this year, but they might say one more year because now we got all new Switch users, so, we all new Xbox users, that's probably why they didn't do it last
Yeah.
year, maybe, they don't wanna do it with the Switch users this year, who knows? But, yeah, I'm very curious what we never had, like we we had short events before, but they told us what it was. This time around, we have no clue. I'm sure we'll get hints leading up. Also, speaking of XP, while we're on the subject on Friday, before we get to the player a month for tomorrow or today, if you're listening, July program and well, July tops out moments and the Nike Connects City Connect jersey for the Padres. So that'll be out on Friday. I'm sure you get like a collection for the program with the City Connect jersey. So that'd be good as well to
What do you
grab.
think of those Padres unis? You like them?
You know what? Even though we kinda, like, discussed it before we went live with the podcast, I still kinda like them. They do
Yeah, no.
pop, but
No, go ahead. I
I
didn't mean to
do
interrupt you.
agree no, but you go ahead. You tell everyone what you said to me before we went on.
Yeah, to me they kind of remind me of like a 90s fast food chain kind of vibe, which I
Yep.
think is great. I think that's a lot of fun. But like when I see it, I see like a 90s McDonald's water cup or something like that. I just kind of get that vibe. But I do like the look of them. I think they look cool.
Yeah, I they do pop. I really do dig them. It's something different. We never seen like this, like, I don't know, something that pops like this before. I know the Miami unis like pop with that with the Columbia blue or the and the red jerseys, but that's based off the Cuban jerseys.
Yep.
Um, so I don't know. Yeah. I will put it up there. You know what's funny is speaking of City Connect, my buddy just got the Colorado hat and I saw it in person and I actually it changed my opinion a little bit on it because at first I was like, I don't know how I like this, but after seeing the hat is really nice when you look it up and close. So it made me like rethink of it. I got to see the jerseys up and close, but the hat's really really nice.
Yeah, see,
Made
I
me
wish I had the same reaction you did because I was thinking, oh, maybe these are going to look way cooler in person. But I saw them in person at the MLB shop
uh
in New York, and I had the same thing. I was like, man, I just don't dig these at all, man. These are just
hey
not for me.
that it's not for you. Not for, did you get any Angels City
Yeah,
Connect yet?
I
Oh,
just
nice.
got my City Connect, Shohei Otani. And the jersey's great. It looks great. It's just like the color of it is super nice. It's like one of those jerseys you can wear that's like super casual. Like you could wear it to like a bar or you could wear it like,
Yeah,
somewhere nice. Like
it's the
there's not,
cream, man.
yeah, there's
It,
not too
it,
much going on and it looks good.
uh,
So I'm happy with it. Although I did wear it and get it the day that they got swept by the Astros, but it's what's new at this point.
I mean, I can't say anything. The freaking Astros took 4 out of the Mets over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 at they're just ridiculous, and even they played good against the Yankees. We said it last week, I still say it this week. I really hope there's ALCS between those 2 because
Oh yeah,
that's gonna
that'd
be
be the
electric.
best possible like in terms of like storylines and
Yeah.
matchup, that would be the best one by far.
Hands down. So, we'll see if that happens. But yeah, that's something you guys could grind for to get more XP for the program. If you haven't reached to any of the boss packs yet, or you're trying to get your second or Fernando, you'll have that much more things to gain XP as the week goes on. Are we ready for player month?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, but I gotta pull up one thing from, look at my stats here, but we could start off with by the time you're probably listening to this, you might already know who the lightning card is. We're recording this on Tuesday night, releasing on Wednesday. So if you guys already know, we'll see who's right or who's wrong. But yeah, we got player of the month tomorrow. There's so many possibilities of
A
who could be
lot.
the lightning card. I mean, the player of months were from the AL was Alvarez, NL was Schwarber. For pitching wise, it was I believe it was Shane, right? For the Rays,
I actually
McCallan.
don't know. I don't actually don't know who won it for the
I
AL.
know Sandy won it for the Marlins.
Okay.
Which, I was happy to see that. Which is funny because that's the second Marlin, Pablo Lopez won pitcher a month for the Marlins earlier this year. I believe that was April. And now Sandy wins it for June. But anyway, those players win it for a player a month, but there's still plenty of other cards, or I should say other players that had a fantastic June. Do we want to go with the lightning card first, our prediction, or do you want to go with the henchman first?
Well, let's go with some henchmen. Let's go with some guys that, would get, mid-tier diamonds. Also, even before we do that, so in the April player of the month, it was the two packs that you could get that had the 5 players and then the 3 players was, I believe, 88 overall, and then the second pack was 90 overall.
Yes.
In May, it was 91 and 93. So I wonder what it's going to go up to this time, considering we can probably assume the lightning card is going to be a 96. I could see a 97 if they want to make it really stand out, but I'd probably put money on 96. So I wonder if it's going to be like 93 overall and then like 95 overall or something like that for the henchman. But yeah, I just thought that would be worth pointing out. But yeah, like so first off, I'll start with a guy. I'll start with an AL guy. I'm gonna go. Usually they have at least one guy, whether it's a primary or not. They have one guy that can play catcher. I'm
Mhm.
gonna go with Alejandro Kirk. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say Kirk gets a card. He hit. What did he hit? I had it right here. Where'd it go? Kirk hit June. He had. Oh wait, I'm on pitching. That's why I was like, where is the
I
pitch?
could go for you. He hit 341. On base was 451. He had OPS 1,086.
Yep, and he had 7
7.
homers, 4 doubles, 18 RBI, walked 2 more times than he struck out. So overall, very solid month. And like I said, they usually like to have at least one guy, whether primary or not, that can play catcher. And I think Alejandro Kirk might be that guy.
He was on the fence for me. The reason why he was on the fence for me was All-Star, right? We're getting the All-Star contact on the 18th. He was the main guy, I thought, for the Blue Jays. I don't know how many I mean, even though there's Blue Jays fans are actually crazy. I mean, you see how the ballots are for the AL? Just
Yes, I
how
do.
many Canadians or just Blue Jay fans vote for all the you just give them all the credit in the world there because Bo Bichette's winning for shortstop right now. Not saying he's having, like, the greatest season ever, but I'm not sure he's
I don't know if he's
starter
having an
worthy.
all-star season.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, or the starter worthy of it, but anyway, so I wasn't sure they'll because I feel like we were in this position last year when June got released. I think it was Jared Walsh, to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
thought we thought Jared Walsh would get player a month in June. However, he got his high overall in the Team Infinity 3 program. So that's where I'm at with Kurt. Like, I was on the fence with there. Either way, he's getting a diamond card, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's tomorrow or on the 18th. For me, who I want because I fell in love with his swing earlier this year, and he did have a pretty good June, and he doesn't have like a higher overall, is Brandon Drury from the Cincinnati Reds. He's having an all-star year too. So he's actually same thing with Kurt. He might not get it because he might be the all-star for Cincinnati since Stevenson went down, and he's been basically the leader of everything in Cincinnati. But anyway, he had 8 home runs, 14 RBIs. He batted 333, 376, slugs 627, OPS 1003. Still 5 extra base hits on top of his 8 home runs, 1 triple, 4 doubles. So that's another card I will see. 34 hits. So he has that high contact. I mean, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I'm down with that for sure. Well, I'll move over to a pitcher now. I'm gonna go with a reliever.
Mm.
I'm gonna go. from the a team that's actually playing really well, or at least better than expected. I'm gonna go from the Orioles. I'm gonna go Jorge Lopez. I'm gonna go
Oh,
Lopez.
please.
7 for 7 on save opportunities. Didn't allow a run in the entire month of July, or sorry, the month of June. Struck out 17 batters in 13.2 innings, an 087 average against. I mean, as far as relievers go, that's like as good as it gets next to a guy like Emmanuel Clase, who saved 11 games and didn't allow an entire run this month. So,
Mhm.
yeah, a good, like a 93 overall reliever. Jorge Lopez. I mean, I'm all in, and we already know how good his live series is based off the pitch mix and velo and stuff. So
Yep.
I'm all in on that.
I will love it. He was a common to start the year. He was a moonshot legend, and now he moved up to silver. He's having that type of year. But now to give me a diamond card, oh, Cougs, you got me very excited on that.
I know.
I will love
I
that.
knew he would get you. I
Uh,
knew the BR
yeah.
gods
Yep,
would
yep,
get you.
yep, yep. He would I would be very happy. I'm actually gonna say Sandy. I don't think he'll be the lightning card as much as I want him to. Previously with pitcher of month cards, they've been either in one of those 2 packs that we mentioned before. I would love to see Sandy. I would love to see him in, say, I think you're right. I think they're gonna be the first batch will be 93 and the second batch will be 95. I'd like to see him in the 95 pack. So
Yep.
give me Sandy right there with his 5 pitches. I've always loved using him. So, and he had 1.89 ERA. It just at times he looked unhittable. Not only that, his innings was 47.2, which is 10 innings and 2/3 higher than the next pitcher, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, let me make sure I'm right on that. I think it's 7 actually. No, 4. I didn't have it sorted. That's my fault. He had 4 he had the most innings pitched for the month of June. Let's just say that. Um, but yeah, he will
See,
be my pick.
I actually do think he could get the lightning. Because you look at the one pitcher lightning card we got last year was Robbie Ray. And Robbie Ray
Yep.
had a great month. Ended up winning the Cy Young, had a great year, whatever. But I think the reason why that card was underwhelming to a lot of people is because I can't remember who had an insane month of August, but a lot of people were looking forward to that card. I don't remember who it was. I feel like it was a first baseman. I think it was CJ Crone. Then CJ
Okay.
Crone went on to get a
That re
finest.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then Robbie Ray was revealed as the guy, and everybody was like, okay, whatever. And his pitch mix isn't great.
Mhm.
He's a lefty. There were a lot of good hitters against lefties. But the reason I think Sandy could be a really good lightning card that people wouldn't be mad at is just the fact that we know how good Sandy's live series card is. If you,
Mhm.
yeah, to me, Sandy Alcantara is a good God Squad rotation guy as a gold right now, as an 84. He's long overdue for the diamond upgrade, which, by
Yep.
the way, just to make sure everybody knows, there is no roster update this week. They're going to wait until I think right before the All-Star game or something like
Yes.
that. So there
The
it
15th.
is an extra week. So just keep that in mind. Um, Sandy to me, I think would be a great one that I think a lot of people would be excited for. There are, I'm thinking of on my head 2 other players that people would probably like as a lightning card as well. But if this would be the month to give a pitcher, or if there was a month to give a pitcher, I think this might be the best month.
Yeah, hey, I'm down for that. That's who I want for a lightning card. I'm always hesitant of giving a pitcher a lightning card because you don't see as much, right? But who knows? Tips is, a Marlins fan. Maybe he'll push it away. Be like, hey guys,
Yeah,
I'm,
you know what he's
yeah,
trying to do.
push it away. Be like, yeah, I think we found our guy. But we shall see. Uh, any other, like, guys you just stand out? But, I mean, there so many people had good Junes. I mean, a lot Josh Bell actually had he finished off very strong in June. I mean, his OPS was 1142. He had a 358 batting average, 7 dingers, 18 RBIs, 34 hits, 7 doubles. He's going to probably not be a national by end of the year. He's definitely going to be a trade target, but he always could pull up a player a month card. I'm just looking like who else could be like, I don't know, like a henchman. Like, who's there? Because they always find, like, these random players, but, like, I never thought that would be a henchman, and then all of a
Dalton
sudden
Varsho from last
yeah,
month.
I'm just looking through the list to see if, like, if there's anyone that really pops out for me. That's why I kinda went with Brandon Drury. I know Hoskins had a good year, but I could always see them bringing back Hoskins as a classic player month card. Did Ian have a player month card this year, or was that no, that was last year with the
Oh, yeah, I think
97.
it was 97 last year,
I
yeah.
would love a Ian Happ a henchman. Give me 93, 95 overall.
I'm cool with it. I love Ian Happ. I
Yep.
feel doesn't he have a good card this year? Why do I feel like he does?
His
I know
he's a gold now. He started as bronze, went to gold.
mm.
I was so disappointed. I think I mentioned last week how disappointed I was that he went to gold when the play
Yeah, that's
it's like the
right.
first time. But he just played his car he always plays above his attributes in the game. He's probably on pace. I hope he doesn't get traded to the Yankees. On pace of being that guy where I buy the jersey by the end of the year, but he's like that guy for me this year.
Yeah, I man. I
So
hope he gets a good card. I hope he doesn't go up too much for you so you can continue to use him in BR, but it'd be cool to see him get a little bit of love from SDS on the roster update, you know, even if it would cause you some pain, even if it would make you a little
it's
sad.
fine. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it.
But I guess now, so we were talking about a bunch of guys who I guess now would be the perfect time. Who do you think is going to be the Lightning?
I think it's going to be Alvarez. I do. And my
Thinking
reason
Jordan?
is it has to be Jordan. It has to be. The reason why it's not Schwarber because they could bring back. Wouldn't you rather have them bring back the Schwarber from last year than
A
give him
hundred
another
percent.
player a month ago?
100%. I want Schwarber from last year over Schwarber, a 2022 June Schwarber. Which, by the
Yes.
way, when midnight happens on May 31st, everybody needs to run for cover because Kyle Schwarber is out here ready to freaking play, dude. He is unstoppable in the month of June, and I don't know if it's
You can
just
say July too because he had 2 tonight.
oh, that's right. Yeah, forgot about that. Oh, cool. Yeah, he won't stop. He's not going
He
to stop.
won't stop.
Um,
It
yeah, no, he's great. But yes, I would love the card from last year to return, maybe as like a
Mhm.
little like, collect all of the monthly awards. You get a little, freebie card. And, even more of a reason is just the fact that this year he most likely wouldn't have catcher on that card. Um, and like I said, he was my favorite catcher ever. And, if I get a Schwarber card that doesn't have catcher, am I gonna be excited because I like his swing? Yeah. But am I going to be disappointed because he doesn't really fit on my lineup as well as I'd want him to? That would be more disappointing than anything. So yeah, I would much rather have Schwarber get like a flashback player of the month from last year than a new card this year. So for that reason, I'm with you. I think we're gonna see a Jordan, even though it's very
Yep.
possible that Jordan is gonna get a finest by the end of the year. We saw a guy like Marcus Semien last year get a 96 player of the month lightning card in May, only for him to get a 99 finest by the end of the year as well. So it's very possible he gets two. Um, but yeah, I think it is going to be Jordan Alvarez. It's just we really got to see what his fielding looks like. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, let's first off, before we get to that, just go over his stats for June. I mean, 418, 5. He was on base 50% of the time. His OBP was 510, which is insane. Slugging 835, and then OPS of 1.345, 9 dingers, a bunch of them off the Mets, 28 ribbies, 4 doubles. But yeah, going back to what you say, his defense is going to be the biggest key. Is he going to be in the lineup? Are you going to risk it? I see him having, with it being a player month, probably silver at best. But we don't even know how his reaction is going to be. It's really going to like I feel like with the corner outfields, you're going to have to, and when you want to put a lesser defensive player out there, the reaction has to be a little bit. I think at least 70 or higher, and I don't think he gets that.
See, I agree with you that that's probably the way it should be, but the reason I'm
Mm,
hesitant to say yes to that is just because we saw what they did with Schwarber last year. A guy that's
that's
not
true.
known for his
That's true.
defense gets 85 fielding on his base card, meaning that you get him to parallel 5, he's literally a diamond fielder. Like that there's no world where Schwarber's a diamond fielder. But you know what? If it makes him usable and it makes him a lightning card that people are actually going to plug into their lineup, give it to him, man. Give Jordan gold fielding over in the outfield. I don't care. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll welcome it.
This is where we bring up the subject again, where I think we're at the point where we need DH in Diamond Dynasty.
Yeah.
We'll probably get it next year, but like I think I mentioned last week, how awesome it would be if they just put a patch to update where Diamond Dynasty is DH. But I don't really want to talk about patch right now because there's a lot more stuff that needs to be.
Yeah. I think there's other priorities first.
Yes, there's much more priorities at hand. So, but either way, I'm hoping this. I mean, this. I think SES knows that they're going to do DH next year, but I hope this shows to just like the community itself that you might have been on the fence having DH in Diamond Dynasty. That all right, it might actually be a good thing because you actually get to play with multiple different cards that you don't really get to play with. That might just sit on your bench. I mean, that Nelson Cruz right now, if we had DH, that Nelson Cruz might have been in everyone's lineup still right now.
Yeah, he's he's unreal, dude. Him
So
and Castellanos off the bench against lefties right now are unbelievable. But like you said, if we had a DH, I can make room for somebody else. One of those guys gets to play more for me. Like it works out for everybody. So yeah, I'm with you. The only thing about DH that I'm wondering when they inevitably add it into the game next year, because I don't think there will be a patch for this year's game, for DH. I just wonder if they're at that point they're going to go back to maybe bumping up hits per nine on pitchers a little bit more to start the year.
mhm.
Just because think about like, you're most likely going to be using a lot of gold pitchers at the start of the year. And then you have that extra hitter. You don't get that easy out when the pitcher spot comes up. I just wonder if they're going to do that to help balance it a little bit based off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to wait and see. It's just an interesting thing to think about, like, because the DH changes the game completely. The lineup structure, game planning, like all that stuff. It's all the normal arguments you hear back and forth about universal DH. But when you're talking about it in MLB The Show, it's a big deal because, especially if you're playing somebody that knows what they're doing, it's tough to get people out sometimes in this game. And you add that extra hitter, it might be too much for some people to handle, but they just got to balance it right, and we'll see how they do.
Yeah. The only mode I would like to see it toggle off and on is events
Like no
because
DH in events and
yeah, you'll
sometimes
have
DH in
no
events.
DH and then sometimes you have it on, off, and on. The reason why I say that because you could really just stack your bench with comments
Yeah, you
and
could.
then go through there. So that's the only mode. I wouldn't care for BR. BR changes each year, which I kind of like. It keeps a fresh appeal to BR. So I'm all there for that. It's already war mode as is. So I'm all for it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there is. I think we agreed to the last two ones. What did we say last month? Because we didn't think it was Devers last month.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be
Was it Shane again?
pitcher. Well, I don't think we agreed that it would be a pitcher. I just think that we saw it was
We had
Devers. It's
someone
like,
else.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to remember who won it last year or last month.
Who won it last month? It's funny. Yeah, who did win last
I'm
month?
sorry, March
All I remember is Jim Rice.
yeah, May feels so long ago. I think it
Because we have
was
Rizzo in April, and then who was May?
yeah.
It figures we make a podcast about MLB The Show. We can't even freaking figure
Let's
out
see. This is gonna
month,
this is gonna bother me now. Hold on.
last
MLB
month's
player
player of month card on the spot.
of the month.
But
Go ahead.
is it because it's so forgettable in May? Like we don't even think about using that
Um,
card?
are you saying? Oh, wait, are you? Or I'm asking about who won it in real life.
Oh, in real life, I don't remember.
No, yeah, I remember Devers and Rizzo, but I'm saying I feel like we agreed that it was going to be a different card. Well, okay, so last month I think it wasn't it Goldie? Didn't
Yeah, I
Goldie
think it
win
was
Player of the
Goldie.
Month?
Yeah, Goldie. Yeah. He had a ridiculous and the hitting streak and so on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
was
the other card was Judge. That's right. Aaron Judge won it for
no,
the
J-Ram. J-Ram for Rizzo.
J-Ram won it in April, and we thought it was going to be J-Ram, but then it ended up being
Yeah,
Rizzo. And then in
yeah,
May, it was Judge and Goldschmidt,
yeah,
and we weren't sure,
and it was
what they were going
Devers.
to do. Yeah.
But we were fine with that because
Yeah,
that d
Devers was
dude,
a good
that
card.
Devers, number 1 kryptonite card. I can't pitch that card. If I have a righty on the hill facing that Devers, I don't want to pitch that card.
Yeah, he's tough. Even against a lefty, he's tough.
Mhm. Really, I was saying earlier this week, it's funny. It was him and Reggie Jackson's always my kryptonite. I know it's probably not for everyone, but for some odd reason, Reggie Jackson always destroys me each and every year. I just hate
Has your
facing those.
number.
Yep, has my number. So and we already talked about Randy. I kind of don't want to give more plug into Randy. But yeah, our pick is Yordan Alvarez. By the time you're listening, you might already know who it is. We'll definitely give our review of the player month next week, and then pretty much look ahead to All-Star content, which comes on the 18th, which that's going to be, it comes on a Monday, which I
On
don't
the
think we
day of the
ever,
home run derby.
yeah, on the home run derby day. And I don't think we ever seen content this big drop on a Monday. So I am ecstatic to see how that week goes. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with the home run derby, all-star game cards on top of the program. There's going to be, the community is going to be hyped throughout the whole week. I just can't wait for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think at this point also maybe it might be a good idea for people to start investing in some cards to gather for collections, because we'll
Yes.
probably get a 99 or a 9, high overall all-star card like we got Shohei last year. Um so, you probably want to make sure you have some stubs available to buy some of those all-star cards, as well as maybe just buy a couple other cards just to make sure you have enough in case there is a new collection that does come out that Monday or Tuesday or whatever.
Who was after Mo last year? Was Mookie?
It was Mo, Mookie, Shohei, Kershaw, and then Griffey. And
Okay.
Jimmy Fox was with Griffey.
And Acuna was with the All-Star content as well, right? The
Yeah, well,
99.
Acuna was his own. He was his own little
Yeah, it was all in
program.
collection. Yep. So, yeah, we'll be close. Definitely be close.
Yep, looking
I,
forward to it.
I yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about throughout the next couple of weeks. We'll be here for you, but I think that's going to do it for today. We'll talk about everything that comes out later this week. Of course, player month, special event, wherever that is. Other June tops now cards. Remember, there is no roster attribute updates. There's transactions. That's about it. The 15th will be the next roster update, but we'll be here to talk about that once that comes. And yeah, Cougs, till next week, bud. This was fun.
Should be a fun week, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, same here. So hope you guys are looking forward to as well. Be sure to follow all of our socials. We're at Twitter, twitter.com/inside the show PC, on YouTube, youtube.com/inside the show. Be sure to hit thumbs up and sub to the channel if you want more videos like this. If you're watching right here, right now, you can follow my boy Cougs on Twitter, twitter.com/Cougs46 to find all socials there. I'm at Scuffy McGee TV. You guys have fun grinding. More content this week, unlocking more cards from the Sizzling Summer Program or unlocking the new Lightning card. And not only that, Chris Sale as well. Come your way. And I got to say, Cougs, this is probably one of the flashback Lightning cards that will get much use out than, say, the other cards, right?
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. And
I
we'll
think so
find
too.
out on Friday. We'll get the new program and we'll find out who the next legend or flashback Lightning card will be.
Damn right. See you then. Have a good one, Will. Peace out.